What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and today we're going to take a look at this weapon, the Voodoo Staff. By the end of this one, you should have a pretty good idea on whether or not to pick it up. First of all, I'd have to say it all starts with that 64 gold price tag. That's the standard price that you would pay for a brand new weapon or gadget. However, the Voodoo Staff is not new. It came out in PvP Season 13. Now, the fact that it's old doesn't disqualify it from being worth 64 gold, but the fact that it has been out for so long does give us some insight into whether or not it's worth it. I'll get into exactly what I mean by that a little bit later in this video, but first, let's go ahead and see exactly what this weapon does. The Voodoo Staff. It's going to come in at 10 levels above your current agent level. So if you're level 300, it's a 310. It's a single target or one enemy attack, and it's a ranged magic type. This means that anything that buffs or benefits magic or ranged attacks will pertain to this weapon. So Lock On or Bane, for example. It does do a decent amount of damage, but it doesn't have any boosts like Finest Hour or any type of exploit. It does, however, have Ethereal Strike. This means it ignores avoidance and incorporeal effects. What this means is you should be able to hit an enemy that is phased or is in a similar state. Plus, it will ignore avoidance effects such as misdirection or mirror image. The big one, I believe, would be reality hacking. So Ethereal Strike is nice to have. Then this weapon also causes Neutralized. This says removes and prevents stat increasing effects. This debuff is only going to last for one round, and it's actually quite difficult to figure out which effects it's going to remove. It's certainly not a bad debuff, and it will take away Enraged for sure. Plus, I believe War Frenzy, just to name a few. Then last, but probably the most significant thing that the Voodoo Staff does, is it grants Spirit Filled to your entire team. This effect reduces incoming area damage by 30%. At one time, this could have potentially made a huge difference in PvP, but will it make a difference in today's meta? That's another question that we'll examine in just a minute. Alright, so now that we have an idea of what this weapon does, let's go ahead and check it out in PvP action. Also, during that battle, I'll go ahead and weigh the merits of this weapon, and with that, I'll do my best to help you make a decision. On my team, I went ahead and used Null, who at least can benefit from the magic type of this weapon. That is, of course, because an attack from the Voodoo Staff will increase Meteor Swarm on the enemy. Unfortunately, it is only a single target attack. But the first thing that I do want to show you is Spirit Filled is on my agent. It's going to be on Null and Enchantress. That is, at the beginning of this fight. Plus, it's a blue buff, so the enemy team cannot remove it. But just to focus on the merits of Spirit Filled itself, the enemy agent most likely has single target attacks. Pestilence Beast has only single target attacks. And as far as a character like Red Hulk or even Null, yes, they do have Gamma Bomb and World Breaker, which are AoE. However, those attacks are mainly focused on the debuffs, not the upfront damage. So we take 30% less on 1 or 2,000 damage. That saves our team 300 to 600 damage total. Not really a big deal. When it was a big deal was when someone like Iron Patriot would 21 gun salute your entire team to death. That's when 30% could really make the difference. You would still eat all that radiation exposure though. But at least there were other heroes that you would see in PvP with big AoE attacks. Let's say someone like Magneto or Thor with his Summon Thunder. That would at least give you more of a reason to care about Spirit Filled. Nowadays you're going to see a lot of Worthy, Pestilence Beast, Gamora, and other single target attackers more often. So it's really not going to help that much in today's meta. Today there's actually ways to get a survival training buff, which reduces damage by 50%, and that's for all damage. Now I know that's not for the whole fight, but I much rather have that buff. To be honest with you, to make the Voodoo Staff better, they should just say 30% damage reduction, period. Then we could consider buying it. As it stands in today's current PvP meta, it just isn't worth it. Like I was saying earlier, the fact that it's an older weapon means that it's been around. That's pretty obvious. But in that time, what have we observed? Not a lot of Voodoo Staffs. Certainly not in quite some time. And that's what I'm getting at. Usually if you haven't seen an item in quite some time in PvP, that's because it's not good enough, or there's just way better options out there. Because of that, I'm going to tell you before this fight is even halfway over, that this weapon is not worth buying, at least not right now, especially not 64 gold. That price tag is simply too much. And of course, that's just my opinion. If you have a specific team or reason that you want this weapon, by all means don't let me stop you. Maybe you're facing AoE attackers and they're really hurting your team, well then go ahead and give it a shot. But I'm just letting you know why I wouldn't recommend it, and I wouldn't buy it myself, at least not right now. Now as far as this current fight, of course we're going to finish it. And while I do that, I do want to update you on another video that I'm working on. I'm going to try to put out a Destroyer PvP video hopefully later today. And then my plan is to put out a Hawkeye All Hail the King episode tomorrow. So if everything goes well and there's no interruptions, that should be the schedule. Other than that, we're going to have a few fun videos coming this week, and we should finally finish posting all the Chapter 8 heroic battles. So it really should be a great week, and I hope you all had a fantastic weekend, by the way. Mine was great. I had multiple big dinners with family, one on Saturday and then another one on Sunday. So that was amazing, and I also judged the annual Easter egg coloring event. The only sad part about that is I unfortunately wasn't able to participate, and therefore I couldn't show off my own artistic skills. But hey, I think a lot more people already saw them with my hybrid drawing. If you didn't, then I'll go ahead and put a link on the screen right now. Check out that masterpiece. As for this fight and this video, we are coming very close to the end. Enchantress will have the final action. Just to make sure our level 9 knocks them out, we're first going to use all our debuffs, beginning with a magic missile. Pestilence Beast has the most health, so we're mainly going to debuff him. He'll take that magic missile, then a charm, followed by our alluring voice, and then an emerald wave to finish them off. That will definitely end this video, so I want to thank you all for watching. I'd also like to ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.